I'm not
All right. Good to know.
sure it helps. To be honest, I'm not sure how Zoom works with that. But now we are
Yeah,
live.
because
This is a technically one-on-one FormWise workshop tutorial. I'm here with the wonderful Miss Cassie, who is a FormWise user. She's new. I have actually been using FormWise for a while. Before FormWise was FormWise, technically, they had another tool. I can't remember what it was called before FormWise came out, but I've been knowing Javi and the team. They're wonderful guys. I share my expertise when I can and help out. I've been in the community. And one of the things that a lot of people have been asking me about is utilizing FormWise with WordPress. And also, actually, Javi is kind of asked me to make some content about that because that's something that I specialize in, because not everybody in the FormWise community is using high level or in the high level community, even though a high percentage of the people still use it. I think it's still about maybe 20 to 40% of people that just use FormWise. They don't use anything else. I think using WordPress is a really great combination to FormWise, even if you're not, even if you are using high level and even if you're not using high level. So I just want to make that little introduction, and I'm actually going to turn off my camera because I don't want this to blow up. But this kind of workshop or recording is going to be me kind of explaining and answering some questions that Miss Cassie has. And I actually have no idea what questions she's going to have. This actually kind of got started because when I show my screen, I have a checklist that I've been needing to release to help and show people how they can use WordPress with FormWise. And I actually needed to make some content and kind of have somebody who actually isn't familiar with WordPress at all and all of those tech savvy things that some people may think may need to be required, which may not really need to be required, or something can be provided as a solution for that environment. Because once again, some people are not utilizing high level, or they're not utilizing high level uh, at the start of using SaaS or getting into the SaaS industry. So using WordPress is a good, actually cheap, low alternate solution that I think to that, and that's kind of also what I'm going to be showcasing. So I'm
yeah,
going to
I
stop.
would say that's where I'm at. I'm interested in, eventually moving up to using a high level. But right now it makes more sense to, yeah, the first stepping stone is to use WordPress with FormWise, and also interested.
Now, even though this might be, got you. Now, also, there's probably you may have this question, or other people may have this question of, you know, can I use WordPress inside of high level because they have WordPress hosting? And my answer is going to be biased because I'm actually a managed WordPress hosting provider. And I actually believe that everybody should have control of the hosting, whether you're tech savvy or not. But the simple answer is yes, you can use this in WordPress anywhere, kind of in this step that I'm going to show you now. I have my own dedicated tech stack, my own set of plugins and themes or theme that I use inside of WordPress. And I kind of use WordPress differently because most people talk about WordPress in this what's normally known as single tenant WordPress. And I'm usually referring to WordPress as far as multi-tenancy WordPress, which is fairly new and most people don't know about that. And I think I kind of talked to you about that a little bit in our first conversation when we first met, Miss Cassie. But this is a checklist, and after this recording, this will be live and probably updated. But it's to help people with going through a setup with what I would prefer that should be used inside of WordPress to make things really, really easy. Now, you don't have to use a majority of these things here. I actually think the only thing that really needs to be used is Stripe. That's it. I could be wrong, but besides that, as far as the plugins that you want to build the website with, if people want to get into that and page builders, that actually honestly makes no difference, whatever your preference is. If you do happen to be in WordPress, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You can use this video as a reference to actually build anything in WordPress, but we're kind of just going to be building something from scratch, and it's kind of going to be cool because I'm going to be showcasing kind of like what I do. So yeah, that's here. And to showcase this, it's actually cool. It's going to be a shout out to a couple of sponsors and things that I use here, such as Insta WP. Shout out to Vicus. I'm a big advocate of Insta WP. It's something that I use and teach along with WordPress. And then the Cadence theme, which has the Cadence blocks, is something that we're also going to be utilizing. And then also another plugin that I'm going to be mentioning called WP Fusion, which I'm actually an expert on, and I serve on the team, which is a very helpful plugin for people who actually want to do this go high level in WordPress as a CRM, which we'll talk about later, and kind of some advanced methods. So what I'm going to do right now is literally just make a fresh WordPress site. One of the reasons why I'm using InstaWP as a platform is its main purpose is to create WordPress websites in literally 1 second. I just made a WordPress website that's completely blank. I didn't have to go sign up for technically any hosting or doing all of those crazy things technically, even though I do pay for a plan here, just totally separate from this video. I'm just making some of these things really short, so I don't have to go into this. But if you want to use GoDaddy, if you want to use High Level, if you want to use Namecheap, if you want to use Bluehost, if you want to use Cloudways, if you want to use TinWeb, you can use all of those platforms. It doesn't matter. WordPress operates the same wherever it's at. It just depends on if it's managed WordPress hosting or regular WordPress hosting. Now, as I spin up this WordPress website, and hopefully I'm not going too fast already, Miss Cassie, do you have any questions so far?
No, I would like to hear more about maybe at the end what you offer in terms of WordPress hosting. You said it's managed. You manage all of it.
Yes.
Use a different term, but I'm guessing that helps if you have multiple websites and you're wanting to make changes across all of them. The way that what you're offering allows you to kind of manage multiple WordPress websites without going into each one and changing those settings individually.
Yes, that is something we could I could talk about that a little bit at the end,
Yeah,
and
maybe I
showcase
didn't
an
understand that.
example actually. Yes. So, okay, you you started up a WordPress website. Most of the time it's going to be blank and you're going to kind of see this screen. And I'm going to assume that, once again, for most of the people seeing this video, you don't know what WordPress is, you've never been in WordPress, and etc. That's totally fine. I'm going to try to make this as beginner friendly as I can off the top of my head. So what we're going to do is just, we're going to click on this X. We're going to dismiss this. This is like our dashboard. And I'm going to click on these screen options. And I'm just going to uncheck mark some of these things to make this, not look as ugly and distracting. Now, two main things before we get into WordPress. There are two main things that power WordPress. There's something called a theme, which basically styles how a website looks and some of the functionality as far as the header, the footer, the menu, and things like that. And then you have, plugins, and plugins basically give functionality to a WordPress website. In plugins, there's 65,000 plugins. And even if there isn't a plugin for something that you want as far as functionality, you can have a plugin created or make a plugin with AI or not AI to do the functionality that you want. I don't want to get too advanced, but I just want to throw that out there. One of the main reasons why people love WordPress is because it's open source, and there's literally no limit to what you can do and create. I particularly love, and I'm a very big advocate of, Cadence themes and Cadence, which are basically two very great plugins and a theme. Also, one thing to note as far as plugins and themes, they operate really in 3 capacities: free, pro, which means you pay for a pro, which means you pay one time annually, or you pay a lifetime and you never pay for them again, which is another reason why I love WordPress. I've actually spent a lot of money over the years over a lot of great companies and partnerships and things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to appearance. And when you spin up WordPress, it has a default theme. We're going to not use that theme. We're just going to scroll down, and Cadence is so popular, it's right here. Just looks like this little blue thing, but you can also just come here and type in Cadence. Let's start typing in K and it'll pop up. All you have to do is press install, press activate. I'm very I try to be very clean, OCD. We're going to delete this. We don't need this here. We have the theme installed. That's perfect. The next thing we're going to do is click on plugins, and we can actually see that there are no plugins installed. Now, I actually have a little pop-up here. Sometimes when you install pop-ups, plugins, some pop-ups pop up to configure settings or install other plugins. So I'm actually going to install this real quick. This is the Cadence starter template. Really great plugin. And this is going to try to answer some questions. So kind of the same thing as any kind of platform. You have templates. Here are plethora of templates that you could just click to build a website in one click. Very simple and easy. I'll kind of get into that a little bit later, because during the first part of this video, I'm going to be just showing a lot of the free versions of how you can actually do this inside of WordPress, because that's one thing a lot of people have these misconceptions, or they speak or give wrong information about plugins, and that kind of goes into hosting and how many plugins you can have on a site, and if a site is slow and all those other things, and kind of address that a little bit later. So what you can actually do when you go to plugins is come here, and there'll be a plethora of plugins. Now, normally what I would say is you can do the same thing. You can just type in Cadence, and you would click on Gutenberg blocks here, Cadence blocks. Now, I actually have a kind of more updated version than this here that I want to install, just to make this a little bit special. So it's kind of no different than this. It's just a different version.
Okay.
So I'm going to install that. Once you click on this, you just click install. We click activate, and it's activated. Now, all we've done is install a theme, which is going to, configure some of the styling of the website. And then we've actually added Cadence blocks. And Cadence block is equivalent to basically what we're going to use to build inside of WordPress, which is equivalent to a high-level builder or Wix builder or Elementor plugin, Divi plugin, and other page builder plugins that people may refer to. Now, also one thing that's really important that we're going to do, we're going to just name this website. So down here on this left pad, we come to settings. And because this is a FormWise tutorial, I'm just going to put FormWise template for the name. And you can kind of put like a tagline, and I've typed in literally so many things here. So I'm just going to put monetize your own SaaS application and leave that here. Now, one thing that's important, we're going to turn on membership and put anyone can register, because the next step that we're going to get into, we're actually going to do this inside out. And I'll get into why we're going to do that after I come down here and I press save changes. So the number one thing of why I'm a big advocate of using WordPress to combine the power of FormWise as far as gating content and selling it as a standalone SaaS, which is equivalent to many other platforms like Jasper or AIRPM and many of these other tools where you have a certain amount of credits, or you pay, $10, $27, $37, $47, whatever the case it may be. I believe you can definitely do that with something like FormWise, and that's something else we're going to be showcasing. So As we come down here to settings and I name this FormWise template, we'll see the name change up here. We put a tagline. We'll leave this URL here because this is a dummy website. We haven't attached the domain yet, even though, you know, that is a must have here. And actually, let me not skip past this checklist. There are things that you must have here that will make this really easy to follow if you are following this or do happen to follow this. You must have a Stripe account, which I'm not actually going to be showcasing on this tutorial, but please feel free to send me a message if you just for some reason don't have a Stripe account. We can make that. You must have a FormWise account. Preferably, you must have the $99 plan because you'll be able to make more than one toolkit. I think you can only make one toolkit on the first plan. I cannot remember. You must actually have a domain, which means you're going to name this, you know, something, preferably, you know, the name of the tool or something like that. I think I'm going to be selling on my GPT toolkit, but I'm not sure because, you know, so many names to come up with and so many names that are taken. And then obviously you must have WordPress hosting. And as I mentioned earlier, you can have that anywhere you want. And actually, as we get into the WordPress settings here, permalinks, well, I'll get into that literally next. We've set our name and title, right? That's what we've done right here. And then you can also set your time zone here, which I really don't want to. I'm being a little. I'm not going to do that in this tutorial, but that is something you can do. And you can happen to change the week start date if you want to. Just going by what I said on the checklist. As far as the permalinks, you would click.
What's a permalink?
Permalink is actually the structure of this here.
Okay.
So a permalink is technically, I would say, any URL if I'm being technical. But as far as WordPress, it has a certain structure of how that permalink can be displayed. So usually you just want it by what is called the post name, because in WordPress, basically any page is like a post. So for instance, like yourwebsite.com/shop, yourwebsite.com/whatever, any kind of thing that you see on WordPress is a post, and you can have it basically structured different. Some people, instead of maybe having the post name, they may have it by the month and date because maybe their website is a different type of website where they want that type of permalink structure, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Normally it wouldn't, because Google doesn't, I don't want to say they don't read those type of post names, but it could conflict with your SEO very heavily. So it's very common just to sometimes, for some reason, wherever you may spin up WordPress, you want to just make sure you come check your permalink settings and it's set on post name, and
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Cool.
So next, where are we going? Right next, so where are we doing here? Before we get into building, we're going to do this inside out. We have to sell, right, this product in order to make our revenue and gate and do all these things. How are we going to do that? Well, inside of WordPress, there is the #1 most popular e-commerce solution, and that is called WooCommerce. Very similar to e-commerce, just with a W. It's the power of WordPress, right? But WooCommerce is actually a very, very, very powerful. Just literally think of it as your Shopify inside of WordPress.
Okay.
Very, very simple and easy solution, and you can almost sell anything. And also, just kind of as a reminder, there are a lot of people, I think, who, when they hear e-commerce, they only think of clothing or drop shipping, and that's
Yeah.
definitely not the case. E-commerce refers to the selling of anything online. So there are some stores that are set up that you may have been on and you never know, or maybe you never have and it's fine, but they're actually using WooCommerce to sell events and sell booking and sell services and sell things like that. They're not always related to, you know, selling clothes and drop shipping and things like that. Now,
Okay.
when I may have went too fast there, so I apologize. you go to plugins and you type in WooCommerce, you click install, you click activate. And when you activate it, it's going to take you to kind of basically a kind of setup wizard. And the setup wizard is very simple. We're going to walk through it. You know, it's going to say which one of these, oops, give me 1 minute. I kind of figured that was going to happen while I was on this call. That may happen again. I apologize. So we're going to walk through this setup wizard and we're going to say, you know, I'm just starting my business. It really doesn't matter which one you're, you know, putting here. You know, our store name is FormWise template. What type of products are we serving? We can just press other. Where's our store located? United States. If you're not in the United States, you can, you know, click wherever you want. Now, this is kind of one of the problems with WordPress. You're going to get recommended to install a lot of things that you don't necessarily need. And even if you do need them, you don't need them in the beginning because they are just probably going to slow you down and give you analysis paralysis and other things. Not that they're not helpful, but just don't need to install them right now. So if you're watching this video, you can just not select, uncheck those plugins, and you'll be fine. It's going to next take you to this. And what we're going to do is very simple, referring back to this checklist, is we're going to make 3 to 5 toolkits. Very simple, very easy. And actually, I need to be doing this as well. So I'm going to go into FormWise here. I'm going to log in. And I have a tool set. This demo one that I use here, I erased everything just to prepare for this. I'm going to make a new one. I'm just going to name this demo 2. I'm going to skip this. I'm not going to do anything yet. I want to make another tool set real quick. Name this demo 3. So we have 3 tool sets created. So actually, I'm going to act like we read this introduction. I'm not going to go through that right now. I have a FormWise account. I created 3 to 5 toolkits. I have WordPress hosting. We're going to assume I have a domain here. Get into that another time, or please feel free to send me a message. I will go to add a domain here. Well, actually, I probably will. Let me uncheck that then. Probably will do that later. Next, we're going to get into this Stripe account, right? But I've made my 3 toolkits, which I'll get into a little bit later. Now I need to make my products for WooCommerce. So I'm going to go to add products. Now, WooCommerce is actually fairly easy. Most likely what I'm going to do after this recording, because I already have a solution set in place, what I'm going to do extra is have a spreadsheet that you can just copy and upload if you are watching this or you decide to do this, because you can upload spreadsheets already with products inside of WooCommerce and it's fairly easy. But next to this menu right here, I'm just going to go down to products and I'm just going to click on add new product. And this product name is going to be very simple. It's going to be starter. The price for this product is going to be, say $27. $27 is a good price. We're going to make this price virtual. The reason why we make this price virtual is because natively in WooCommerce, it has shipping. And if you make something virtual, it just takes away the shipping. Cool. If you want to provide any PDFs or anything like that, you can make this downloadable. And then you can attach a file or attach whatever it is that you want to attach. Now, for the product description, we're just going to make something very short. You know, your very own personal AI toolkit. I'm going to copy this. We're going to go here. And actually what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to steal the FormWise picture just really quickly for some of these things. I'm going to take that. We're going to, yep, there's a product image here. We're going to set this product image. It's literally the picture I just took. Oh, that's not the picture I just took, but that's fine. Okay, we'll use this. This is still good, just advance. It probably didn't take that because it wasn't a PNG, and I'm not going to convert that right now. That's totally fine. So we named the product. I just gave it a short description. Obviously, you can change this and make it whatever you want. And, you know, your own personal AI toolkit. Here we go. Now, natively, WooCommerce does not have subscriptions. And we're going to solve that problem really quick. So I'm going to publish this product. I'm not going to look at this product right now. It's totally fine. And really quick, I'm going to go to plugins. And usually I install this plugin already because it kind of cheats as far as creating products for us, but that's fine. And we're going to come here and we're going to type in WP swings. And we're going to, this little subscribe, little nice little icon right here. We're going to click install now. Going to click activate. And we're going to get through another setup wizard, which is really easy. We're just going to click next. We can actually name this Pro. And I think I still have that content copied, so I can just press copy and paste. There we go. Copy and paste. And the price, because once again, this is a subscription, and we're also going to edit that other product as well. I'm going to put the next price to $47. The subscription interval is 1. And here we can pick a day, week, months. Obviously, we're going to pick 1 month. So every month, $47, they're going to be charged for this product. You can click next on that. You can click finish. Page will refresh. And all of this is updated. So literally, people who watch this after this recording, I can guarantee almost all of this is going to look the same. You can follow this. When this page redirects here, we're going to click allow customer to cancel subscription. We're going to log this, and these are for, you know, obviously troubleshooting errors and things like that. That sounds technical. Please don't worry about it. I'll refer to that later. We press save. And inside this menu, and I always refer to this left side because this is where the menu will always be. We'll always see WP swings here now. We're just going to click on home. And I'm only doing that to make sure the tracking is enabled because sometimes it's not enabled. If I come back here to products, I'm going to look at all the products because I have 2 products now, right? I created one called the starter, and then I just made one called the pro plan. How was I able to make that one in the pro plan? Because in the setup of WP swings, it just automatically creates a subscription product. But before I get back into that product, I'm just going to go back into the starter product. I'm going to click edit because now there's a third box here that was not here. And that is a subscription box.
Cool.
So all we have to do is check that. Now this is a subscription product. Here on this tab right here, we see subscription settings. And I'm just going to change this to 1 month. So every month, $27, they get charged for this product. And it's a subscription product. We're not taking a look at it yet. We're going to go back to all products. I'm going to come to the pro product. And this product is fine. I just want to make sure that I make this a virtual product. And I want to make sure I just add the product image. Now I'm going to go back to all products one last time because, right, we're going to make 3 toolkits. I'm just going to come to the pro plan, and just to make this easy, I'm literally just going to press duplicate. I'm going to duplicate that product. I'm going to press scale. So I'm going to name it. So we have 3 plans, right? Starter, pro, scale. All I have to do here is change the price. Now we're going to change this to, let's say, $67. Matter of fact, nope, we're going to change it to $97. Going to get fancy here. Mind you, all of this can be changed. That's offline. This is all just example, right? And still, this is a duplicate product, so this is still charging on a monthly base. Don't have to really change anything except for the price. It's totally fine. Publish. Now I'm looking at all 3 of my products here, right? I have the starter plan, I have the pro plan, I have the scale plan. Now, kind of just recapping everything we've done, we've made a WordPress account, we've added a theme, so our website can look fancy, which we'll get into very momentarily. We've added a way to build inside of there, so once again, our website can get fancy. We'll get into that a little bit. And now we've added the section of how they're going to purchase our toolkit, right? That was with WooCommerce. Now, technically they can't, if I actually view this product, right? This is kind of the default, just regular how this looks. I can add this to cart. I can view cart, which, yeah, I hate coming here. We're going to go to the checkout.
Mhm.
And right now we have no payment option, right? Now we need, in order to connect, how are we going to get paid and how are we going to get paid? I'm going to close this page. That's what we refer to. We need a Stripe account. So I'm going to go to Stripe. And I already have a test account. So I'm going to I'm in a meeting. I'm in a meeting. Sorry, talking to my brother. He's walking in trying to figure out where I'm at. I'm like hiding in a room while I'm recording this guy. So when you have a Stripe account, you don't have to do this. You can actually put your regular account on test mode, but I just have a basic test account that I use across anytime I'm testing with anything with Stripe. When you come to test mode, you can come into your API keys. You can just toggle this on, or it'll already be on because you have to verify and do all that stuff. I didn't do all that. Come to developers, you'll always be able to come here and get API keys and do that. Now, we need these API keys because, while I do all of this, we're going to do all this in test mode, obviously to show that it can work live, but we're not going to spend real money here, right?
Right.
So we saw just momentarily we didn't have a payment option. We need to add that payment option because we said that we're going to be using Stripe here. So we're going to come back to plugins. We're going to add a plugin. We're going to come back here, and we're really just going to type in Stripe. This first plugin that pops up, WooCommerce Stripe Payment Gateway, we can click install. We can click activate. And when we come back to the plugin menu here, we can just come down to the bottom and we can just see WooCommerce Stripe Gateway and we can click on settings. We can come to enter account keys. And I'm going to switch this over to test. And all I have to do is come here, Another reason I'm doing this is because it's not safe to show your test keys ever, but this is
Yeah.
fine. I can just delete this other test account. So I'm not really too worried about it. Even this password right here, I can just, even though you don't see it, if that was the case, I can just change it, so it's totally fine. So I'll copy these test keys. The webhook test secret, you literally don't need to worry about. If you want to just check just in case, you can. You'll see this connection successful, save test keys. And test mode has been activated. All right, now that's cool. Now, one thing I like to do is just come down here to advanced, turn on log error message, click on enable the new checkout experience. Come here to payment methods. What's really cool is they have the Apple and Google Pay already linked, and then you can turn on link, which most people are familiar with, which saves their information and things like that. So I save these settings. Really quick, I'm just going to go to products again. I'm just going to view this product. And I'm just going to go to the checkout because I'm probably still have it in my cart. All right, and now I'm not getting that error, and I will be able to pay with my card. Now, sometimes you're going to get a checkout like this. It's not supposed to look like. That's totally fine. We're going to fix that because I really don't like how that looks. So next, let's come back here. So we talked about permalinks. We set up our name. We set up our time zone. What we're going to do, we talked about installing Cadence theme, Cadence blocks, WooCommerce, stripes, and WP swings. We won't talk about WP Fusion yet. We'll get there. Real quick, we're going to talk about setting a category name. Category name, we're all familiar with categories. For instance, if you go to a shopping website, you'll see clothes. You may see a subcategory of clothes that say socks, t-shirts, etc. Boys, girls, shoes, boots, heels, whatever the case may be. In this case, because we're not really doing much here, we can actually just change the default uncategorized category. You can actually just delete the slug, delete the name. And I would say just make this AI toolkit, but you can make it whatever you want. And that'll be that. For instance, actually what I'm going to do is put services, because I'm going to give a real life example. Let's say, for instance, we have three toolkits, but somebody wants us to make a custom toolkit. So we can just put services as another category here. And then we may have different levels of those services, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to make a services category. And those are services here. And actually, just to really follow up and work on that in real time, we're going to make a service, right? So for example, that may be custom toolkit build out. And we're going to make this virtual. I'm going to say this is not on a subscription. I'm going to say this is a one time, but if it is a subscription, feel free to make it a subscription. And maybe for this, we're charging $500.
Are you able to do like, I mean, in this situation, maybe it's a upfront payment and also a monthly charge?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. So you would click on the subscription here.
Mhm.
You'll come down to subscription settings. Always remember when you click this checkbox for subscriptions, you come to the settings. And then when you come down to subscription settings here, you're going to see something that says initial sign up fee.
Oh,
And you
cool.
can just make that here.
Oh, nice.
You can even set it if you wanted to have a free trial to do that too. I probably won't get into that advanced part in this video. Feel free to reach out to me. Of course, me and you, we can talk about that after. But yes,
Yeah.
those options are available. And even once again, when we talk about what plugins that we're utilizing as I go through this recording, these are all free. So even with the free version of WP Swings, which enables you to add subscriptions to WooCommerce, because WooCommerce natively, you cannot add subscriptions, which is totally fine. That's just how the plugin works. You can use WP Swings to make those things a recurring product. If you want to charge every day, if you want to charge every week, if you want to charge every month, if you want to charge yearly, and you can include a sign up fee on top of that if you want to. And you can also include a trial fee as well.
I got another question for you in terms of pricing.
Go ahead.
Does WooCommerce offer an option for people to pay what they'd like?
You can do that.
Yeah.
Now, not natively with WooCommerce, no, but yes, you can do that if you want someone to go there. There's no price. They enter the price and then it just charges their card, whatever that price that they entered, and they get access. Yes, you can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. So this is a service here. We have custom toolkit build out, and we're gonna put personal build out. Give me 1 minute while I mute myself really quick. Okay, so we have to close here. Okay, so personal build out for any, there's going to be a terrible description, but because I did personal build out for any business industry with custom prompts. And for a photo, I'm always downloading stuff and doing stuff. This is a good one. I know what this is. It's fine. I use this for another one of my products. I'm just going to put this for now as this. And I'm going to make another service just real quick. So it's just 2 services. I'm going to make custom internal AI token. We will create a custom internal toolkit for your business to increase product. Ooh, forgive me for spelling so wrong right now. Oh, no, I spelled it right. Okay.
Nailed it.
So maybe this one here will do the subscription, right? And we'll do the initial price. So we'll say maybe for $150 a month. Every month, we will build an internal custom toolkit for a business to increase their productivity for their sales team or whoever other team members they have. And the initial sign up fee for that is going to be $1,500. Categories, we're going to mark this as services, so that can be there. Then as a product image, I'm going to put this again. And I'm going to publish. Now, real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like open this website. And when you open a WordPress website for the first time, it's always going to take you to the default blog page because we haven't set up a homepage or anything like that. I'm just going to come to shop here. And here we have literally just a shop with 360 services. And we can already see here, right? Custom internal AI toolkit, $150 a month, $1,500 sign up fee, custom toolkit build out. Oh, I don't know why that's $500 a day, but I forgot to change it, but just to let people see, yeah, you can do that if you want. Pro, we have $47 a month. Scale, we have $97. Starter, we have $27, right? So what I'm going to do real quick is come back in products, and I'm going to edit that. Where's that $500 a day?
You can also create products that are free, right? You could add into that. You could
Yeah, you
have
can. You
like
can
a
just put a zero
category of
price. Yeah. Oh, yeah, free. Yeah, you can put free. I actually usually in all the other tutorials I talk to people, I do actually do the free $27, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe I'll probably like make that plan at the end and showcase that as far as some of the add-ons and extra that you do, because some people may want to know what pro plugins and other things like that. And also in the solution that I provide, things like that are provided to make seamless checkouts and things very easy, as far as only needing a name and email, actually only an email for people to start up and have literally only a free account that you segment and block, and then use different things inside of WordPress to upsell, or even things like the chat HQ that I talked to you about to embed in there only on that specific page to upsell them into another plan. So we made this $500 a month. Going back to this checklist, let's see, we've made products inside of WooCommerce. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need pages. Right now, we haven't edited our toolkits yet. I'm switching here, right? I only made them here. We haven't gotten to that yet. We're still, going back through the timeline. We made a WordPress website. We installed the theme and a building material. So we're going to get in that in a little bit. Right now, we just made our plans, right? And as far as an extra, as far as some use cases, we made services to go along with that, because you can sell all that inside of WordPress here. We're going to show that, right? We connected our Stripe account. We can take payments. We'll show that in a little bit in test mode at the end, how that looks for them and how that's managed, because some people may say, do they get a portal? And all these other things. We'll get into that. So next, what we're going to get into are the pages. Now, when you come to pages, you're already going to have some pages already created. Now, by default, you automatically have a sample page inside of WordPress. That's fine. I'm not going to edit that page or delete it, just notating that for now. Because we installed WooCommerce, though, WooCommerce already automatically builds the pages that we need, such as the cart page, the checkout page, the My Account page, the refunds and return policy, and a shop page, because that's what you need inside of a store, right, to sell things, right? So WooCommerce does that natively. If you see those pages pop up here, you're totally fine. You probably will see a default privacy policy page and a refund and returns policy page, which may be very useful, and you only need to edit a few things for those pages as well. But what we're going to do here is we're going to click on add a new page. Now, this is always going to pop up, and we're going to just very quickly talk about the block editor, which is called Gutenberg inside of WordPress. And that's basically how you build things inside of WordPress. Now, the difference in how I use WordPress and Gutenberg, which I'm highly a big advocate and fan of because it's just really amazing. I use Cadence blocks, which basically is a powered up version of the native version of Gutenberg blocks. That's literally the only difference. So we're going to clear out of that. And because we've installed Cadence and the theme automatically it looks like this, and because we installed Cadence block, we have this design library up here. Now, natively, in order to build inside of WordPress, you would come here and you can click on this block and would bring up this plus sign and it would bring up all these blocks. You can click browse all. And in this left-hand section, you would have all these blocks to build here with sections, columns, groups, all this stuff, which I won't lie, it does look intimidating. I can understand. Very great, very helpful and useful, but we're not going to focus too much on a majority of these things. Now, because we do have cadence blocks, though, these things highlighted in blue, this is what we're going to be using. And this is going to be a little bit special because it's going to be highlighting actually some new things that are going on inside of WordPress and specifically with Cadence, why I partner and such a big advocate of them. So I'm going to click on this design library. And because I have this special version of Cadence blocks installed, I just have the free version, right? Don't have the pro version, but just like any other, builder, they have templates and things that you could click on inside of one click. You can build websites with these here. Very cool, very great. Also, what's really cool is you have a color palette and you can switch between these if you've already set those up, or you can build first and do your color palettes later, and all those colors will change along with typography settings, hover settings, and other granular things like that. Just things that I really like inside of WordPress. Also, we refer to sections as patterns inside of blocks. So everything that you kind of need to build inside of a website or a funnel or whatever would be here. Categories such as a slider, a tab, a testimonial, a title, a header, a menu, video, etc. Now, just like all platforms, everything has been AIified, which has its pros and cons. Cadence is finally stepping into that realm. And this is not to talk about, AI everything, because you don't need to. You can if you want to. It's fun. If you're a tinkerer like me, go ahead. It's fine. In this case, I do want to showcase something that I think is cool. Inside of all these patterns that we see here, they all just kind of have dummy text, which is fine and really cool. Most likely after people see this video, I think next week, this will be inside of the default version when you install Cadence blocks to, WordPress. But I'm just going to activate Cadence AI here. I'm going to do this. It's going to take me back into the WordPress admin. Going to connect an account. Connect it. And I'm going to get kind of this startup right here. That's fine. So we're going to click next. It's going to ask for some information here. I'm a company. My name is FormWise Template. We're online only, and our industry, even though I know this is not going to pop up already, these do get added. I'm going to put software as a service. I'm going to add that. I'm going to press next. And here they're going to ask us about our business. Now, I was debating on whether I was going to have something prepared for this. And to be honest, because I really don't want to make this too much about AI, I'm literally just going to still FormWise's text right here on their homepage. And that's it. And I'm going to copy that inside of here. So FormWise template is so FormWise template turns your favorite template GT, bam, 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 right? And obviously, it wants you to put in more. As we know, the more descriptive you are, the more better it is. But for the sake of not, AIifying all this, even though we're talking about that, does that, right? It will, ask about, not ask, but, add some keywords here. Obviously, these keywords are, I'm surprised I put go high level SaaS on. Oh, well, I did put that in there. Never mind. So, it'll have some things here, which obviously are not that good. So please don't try to super critique it. This is a beta. And I did put a terrible thing there, but just for the sake of this. Then it's also going to generate, content and images for you already, which I think is really cool. So I'm just going to press generate. And what it's saying is generating AI content. This happens in the background. You can leave the page and find it in the design library. So I'm just going to click on build a page with AI right here. This is going to take me back into actually building a page. And now on this side with AI here, actually is incorporating all of that text into sections and columns. I wish I could have did all. I don't know why I didn't do all here. Stuck on value proposition. Let's see if I go to get started. But it'll say like, you see exactly discover how you can quickly transform your ChatGPT prompts. So basically whatever text that you put, it will already put it, in these certain sections for you and try to break them down, and which I think is like really, really cool. It's kind of really unique as far as I played a lot in a lot of AI building website things and etc. and stuff like that. So that's just literally actually one aspect. I could click on these and build a website and do all those things, etc. That's just one. And the reason I'm going to go through some of these multiple ways is because there's a lot of misconceptions on when people talk about how to build in WordPress and do all these other things and etc. Also, another thing that I can do, this isn't turned on natively, can come down here. Oh, wrong thing. I can click on design library. And now when I, basically what I've done natively in the design library for Cadence, they don't show the starter packs. And all this is a cloud library. And I can come once again with these starter packs here. And let's just say, for instance, I like one of these websites or whatever this is. For instance, this is a SaaS one here. I could click on this. And for instance, if I like this homepage, I can just click this homepage. And I have a homepage built. Literally that easy. So same thing as far as templates and doing all those other things you can do. Now, one thing that I really like about this, and this one thing why I think like being in marketing is really cool, at least from my aspect, is we make a lot of templates, which we have our own cloud library where we also duplicate and remake and also do custom cloud libraries of things being built, and I'll show an example of that. So I'm going to come back here to design library. I'm going to click on plus, and I'm just going to add a license here. And now at this top, you've seen SB blocks pop up. And what I particularly do in my specialty of combining high level in WordPress and just WordPress in general is that I have an extensive cloud library. And I'm also in a network of people who also have extensive cloud libraries where we create sections and columns and patterns and themes and things like that for agencies to utilize. So here, once again, you see, and I think inside of this library, we have over 300. But the same thing kind of as you see in high level, you can come in here and click on any aspect of a website that you needed as far as alerts or buttons or testimonials or product boxes or footers or call to actions or, um, content boxes, whatever the case may be. Somebody else is actually, oh, Jeremy was in here, but not out late. I think I got him.
I think you added him.
Right. So I think I did. I think that's his note taker. I'm not sure.
Mm.
Also, we have things such as like ready blogs. We have like blogs here already. So you could one click a blog if you wanted to, which is really helpful making content about comparing FormWise maybe to Jasper and other tools like that, which I'll probably showcase another time and things like that. But these are always being updated. And they are here to essentially help somebody build a website or anything like that. And just to give another example, I'm going to come down here to sales funnel. I'm going to click on this ebook sales funnel right here. So somebody can literally say, hey, I need a sales funnel. Click on this. And the sales funnels here. All they have to do is come and change the content here. Really, really easy. And all we know a funnel is just something with no header and no footer. Actually, real quick, what I'm going to do, disable the page title, make this full width, change some of these settings, go and preview this, and bam. All right, so kind of going into that aspect of like, and this is all free. I've not done anything pro at all, right? Spent up a WordPress website. I installed some things to build the website, and I'm showcasing just the basic things inside of there that I'm one-clicking inside to do all those things. And even as far as if you wanted to edit settings, so can change this with very easy. I won't get into the actual builder part because most people probably won't do this probably once they see the end of this video as far as my solution. But yeah, just going into building something for that, right? As far as a page or a funnel or what the shop would look like and, et cetera, whatever the case may be. Just a slight break. Any questions so far?
No, I'm following. Thanks.
Okay, sweet. So the next part that we get into, which is really the most important, is someone making payment, the content being gated, and things like that. Now, this next part it really doesn't matter, but obviously you need a CRM. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to be showcasing the CRM that I use inside of WordPress called Fluent CRM, but you can use any Fluent CRM. You can use high level, you can use Fluent CRM, you can use Active Campaign, you can use HubSpot, you can use Salesforce, just for the sake of questions that may be asked later on or get inboxed out when people watch this video. You can use WordPress, and you can use any CRM with your choice because I'm going to show you how you can connect WordPress to any platform without really doing anything super spectacular. So what we have to get into next is the plugin that I'm going to talk about. And we're going to come back here to plugins. And just notice we're only at 5 plugins. We're not doing anything super crazy here. We're going to go to plugins, and I'm going to type in Fluent. And as I type this in, you see these things already popping up. I'm going to type in Fluent CRM. Activate this. And then right here on this side, I have Fluent CRM, and I'm going to come here. And obviously, there's going to be a little setup wizard, and I'm just going to slide through this real quick. My business name is FormWise template. My address is Test Street 123 Avenue. I'm not going to put a logo. It's going to ask me for a segment list all the time. What I always do is I do newsletter and I do customer. Then you also have a tag. I know some CRM, some people may be confused, but Fluent CRM gives you the ability to have a list. And then they also give you the ability to have tags as well. And that really gives you the ability to do a lot of granular things. Not a comparison just going on what I'm walking through right now, because some people may not be used to that, because, for example, some CRMs or other things like MailChimp only allow you to do list or tags. They don't allow you to do both and things like that. As far as tags, what I'm going to put is 1, I always do 1 support. 2, we're going to do starter, pro, and scale. And scale. Next.
Is there a cost? Is there any cost for Fluent CRM?
There's a cost to all plugins. All plugins have a pro version, which basically have extra features. So yes, for the pro version of Fluent CRM, there is a cost. For a single license, it's like $48 for the year.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Like that. Yeah.
That's great.
So if I was to click on this for people who are curious, and I was to go to get Fluent CRM now. Oh, you know what? I take that back. I'm thinking of super Black Friday pricing and some other things. For the year annually, it's $103. And then after that, for
Not a
one
bad price.
license, it's $129 for the year. This is how all WordPress plugins work. They're not a monthly cost. They're all annually based, or they're lifetime based. So you pay once and you never pay again.
Okay.
Right. So once again, I'm just using Fluent CRM in this video. You can use any CRM to do any of these things, and I'm going to show why, but I just had to install this first. Now, after I install this, we're going to go back to plugins one more time. I'm going to go to add plugins, and I'm just going to type in Fusion. And we're going to see WP Fusion Lite, marketing automation, and CRM automations for WordPress. I'm going to install this. Activate. Once you activate this, we're going to see 2 things pop up. This WooCommerce detected that some of your active plugins are incompatible. Literally, do not worry about this and ignore this. WooCommerce is going through a big update, and this has nothing to do if you happen to see this, if you're following this tutorial or if you're in WordPress. You're also going to see this next one pop up that says, to finish setting up WP Fusion, please go to the settings page. Really quick, before I get into that, I'm going to just go to WP Fusion and talk about this real quick, because I am an expert of WP Fusion. So if you go to the WP Fusion page and you go to experts and you scroll down here, you will see Tylen Miller, expertise, Fluent CRM, and high level. As far as WP Fusion, there are other CRMs that I use, but those are the main 2 that I use. If you come to the main WP Fusion page, you will see connect WordPress to anything. And that's literally what WP Fusion does as far as one of the features, as many, 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 many other things. But the number one thing that it does is connects to over 50 SaaS CRMs and platforms. So we have Zoho, we have Keep, we have Fluent CRM, we have MailChimp, we have High Level, we have Active Campaign, we have Salesforce, we have HubSpot. The list goes on, et cetera, et cetera. So what does this mean? This means that whatever you're doing in WordPress, if you have an outside CRM or even an inside CRM, you can use something like Fluent CRM, because Fluent CRM's main job is to sync whatever's in your WordPress database to your CRM database. So to go even to more clearer terms, this means that if you're using WooCommerce and somebody makes a purchase in WooCommerce and you want a tag to be applied or that information to be synced into Fluent CRM, you can do that. If you're not using Fluent CRM and you want that to happen in Active Campaign, if you want that to happen in High Level, if you want that to happen in HubSpot and Zoho and Infusionsoft, if you want to have email triggers go off, if you want to have a one cell upclick, if you want to have an abandoned cart, whatever you want to have, WP Fusion allows you to have that. If you want to have one-click login, if you're using WordPress and you have 10 WordPress websites and you want to have a client log into one WordPress website and then they can automatically log into all the other websites without logging in, WP Fusion allows you to do very advanced and really cool things, which is why I'm a big advocate and I've been using the plugin. It's kind of a standard for everything that I do, which is for one kind of explanation of why people always ask me, how do I use WordPress with High Level, for instance, or why am I doing that? How am I connecting that and all those other things? Now, granted, this isn't the only way you can send information and synchronize data between WordPress and High Level. You can use webhooks natively provided by High Level and WooCommerce and other plugins such as Uncanny Automator, which we may get into a little bit later. But the whole concept is WP Fusion allows you to connect what's going on with your WordPress website with your CRM and make very granular automations and actions. And you can even have visibility options. And also the one biggest thing, I saved this for last, WP Fusion allows you to basically create a membership site and gate anything that you want simply by tags or somebody being logged in, which we'll kind of get into now. So I just want to talk about WP Fusion really quick. Hopefully that gives a very good overall. So we're going to come to WP Fusions here. We're going to set this up. And when you come here, it's going to ask you to select your CRM. And just real quick, just to show you, you can select High Level. If you selected High Level, it would ask you to go grab the API key in the sub account that you create, that it's already in High Level, and then add that here, and you'll be able to do that. But I'm going to type in Fluent CRM, this site, and do that. Now, just real quick, because I am a nerd and I like explaining cool things like this, Fluent CRM REST API. If you see this option, don't click on it. What this means is that you have Fluent CRM on one domain, and you may have 10 other WordPress websites where people sign up for courses or purchase products or services. And on those websites, you don't have Fluent CRM installed, but you're using the API connectivity from WP Fusion to have the main CRM control those 10 other WordPress websites. To even be more granular, you can have one CRM where Fluent CRM is located and have that control up to 1,000 WordPress websites if you want it, simply with WP Fusion and API.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, that makes sense.
Now, real quick, I'm just going to leave this pause real quick because I'm going to grab my charger for my laptop so this doesn't die and then come back. this in here. Okay, we're good to go. Slight brief pause. So I'm going to click on Fluent CRM in this site. I'm going to click on connect. It's going to do some syncing. And bada boom, bada bang, bada bing. Sync. Save changes. And real quick, if I just go to the general settings, it's just go into some cool things. And these things happen vice versa inside of other CRM platforms as well. But, right, creates a new contact in Fluent CRM when somebody registers in WordPress. You can automatically assign a tag to somebody when they're automatically in WordPress. You can hide menu content from people if they don't have a tag, which is you're already gating things by just simply doing this, which is really cool. And other things like that. I'm not going to get too much into some of these settings, but I'm just going to press save changes here. Now I'm going to go into Fluent CRM. I'm just going to go to some of the settings here. And I want to make sure. Nope, I don't think I need to do any of that. Okay, so backtracking, we set up WordPress. We've added the products. We added services as another use case. We've added a CRM. If you're on this step, you can connect any CRM. Doesn't matter. I'm just using Fluent CRM in this tutorial. Now we're going to get into the purchasing and what happens after that. But next, finally, what we need to do is we need to come back into our toolkits. We haven't been here in a while. Now, I have 3 tool sets already made. I have the demo release toolkit, which I'm going to showcase as the scale plan. We're going to do this actually backwards since this one is already created. So this toolkit is already made. All I have to do is come here and put embed and share, copy this iframe, come back here into WordPress. We're going to come to our pages. Now, right, I didn't make those pages. Or I think I didn't save those pages when I made them earlier. Did I make the pages? I don't think so. Anyway, we're going to make the pages now to gate the content. Click on add page. We're going to come to a fresh page. And this, I'm going backwards here. So remember this. This is the scale plan. Now, for appearance purposes, inside of Cadence, next to this publish button, you're going to see this page settings. Always want to disable the page title, the page layout full width, unbox, disabled. And all we have to do here is just click slash, like /, which would be your question mark. You can type in HTML. It's basically a shortcut to have things pop up, which you can do in WordPress. We're going to take custom HTML because that's all that is. I'm going to paste it here. It actually allows you to preview it. Oh, you know what it is? And I completely forgot to say this. When you come here, you have to make sure the height and the width is something that you adjust because the default one that's put here is super terrible. So right now, when I'm looking at it in the preview, it makes it look super ugly. So I hate to say some coding things here, but if you this will happen regardless whether it's in WordPress or not. if
Yeah.
the width and the height is not set up, it's going to be messed up. I cannot remember off the top of my head what I usually put it at. I think it's 1200, and I think this one is 1100 or like 900 to be totally honest. Let's go on preview. No, I see it loading down there. You always know that the toolkit loads by this right here. What am I doing wrong with, There we go. So this is embedded here. I think for the height, you know what, that's what it was. I think it was 7 actually. Oh no. Or did I make it smaller? Okay, sorry, I'm being a little technical here. I'll include all these things a little bit later, but yeah, that's really important in order to do that. But I'm actually going to publish this page. Then I'm going to just open the page and preview it. Then I can see this load. And then here it is embedded on this page, right? Now, obviously, this is a live page. We don't want that to be there. We'll get into that. Coming back here. This is actually going to bother me just really quickly, but it's fine. Coming back here, when you come to these pages, because we have WP Fusion installed, which we can see here, we can literally say, hey, somebody has to be logged in to even view this page.
Awesome.
So I'm just going to update that. What I'm actually going to do is literally take this URL, open it in incognito mode. Is that not gated content? Right?
Yeah.
You can even change this message that shows up here to say, hey, you need to log in, or hey, you need to purchase a plan, or whatever the case may be. And it's already gated. It's already segmented.
Nice.
This is all free. You've done no pro things, no anything like that. Right? So I can close that. I can also even say, in order to view this page, they need the scale tag attached to their profile when they log in. Right? Because they have to log in to see this page. Now I have to attach this tag. And whoever comes to this page, if they're not logged in and they don't have this tag, they can't see this page.
Right.
I can double down on it. Then I can also say, you know what? If they have the pro plan or the starter plan, they can't see this page either.
Okay.
I can refresh tags. So if somebody comes to this page and they're logged in, and for some reason information is not synced on the back end, that will be applied to their account, and then it will be updated. And once again, you can change the contact. Also, what's really cool, and I know they just added this in high level, but this has been doable for years. If somebody's logged in and they look at a page, you can apply a tag. So even let's say in a situation, you are using WordPress and you're selling and you have something gated, or somebody goes to a page with an offer and they're logged in, just because they saw that page, you can apply a tag, which will then trigger automations. And once again, you can do this across any CRM platform. It doesn't matter which one it is.
Nice.
Very, very powerful.
And I'm guessing that the WooCommerce plugin would allow it. So if they log in, they're on the lower plan, then they upgrade, it changes what their tags are.
Yeah, Yeah, you can. It wouldn't be specifically from the plug. It will be a multiple. To answer your question, you're correct, but it's a couple of other things that take place in that. They make and I'll get into that. They make a purchase or they change their subscription, and because their subscription was changed, the scale tag was removed and the pro tag was added, which resulted in a various amount of automation steps and sequences.
Okay.
So we've made one, we've made scale. It was actually these two pages that I think we made that I didn't end up naming, that I'm just going to put to the trash real quick, which is fine. Right, and we can even see that this has a lock right here. When we're looking at our pages, and it says this page is protected by, these tags. If access is denied, do this. So now we're going to make another page, which is going to be our pro plan. We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to put pro plan. We're going to come here to edit the page settings next to publish. We're going to disable the title, make it full width, unboxed, disable. We're going to come back to the dashboard, and close out, and go back to my tool set. I'm going to go to tool set number 2. Just for sake of this, I'm going to add no more than about 10 of these. All right, so if I open and look at this toolkit, this toolkit doesn't have everything that the other toolkit has, and that's totally fine. So I'm going to come here, we're going to copy this again. We're on pages. We're going to click this. We're going to click our question mark, and most likely each custom HTML is already going to be there. So we can do that. We can paste this, and we need to make sure that we definitely change this right here, because this is ridiculous. I don't know what this thing is talking about. Let's try 1900. Oh, no, I did 19,000. Jesus Christ, it's going to blow up. Oh, wait, come on. Okay, sweet. Preview. Okay, sweet. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be asking why these two bars are popping up right here. In my environment that I have created, these don't show. I'm just speeding through this, so this will not be here. And obviously, this powered by FormWise won't be here, but I did not change that. So I'm going to publish this. Actually, what I'm going to do, remember, for the page settings, I'm going to make sure that somebody has to be logged in to see this. This is the pro plan. Doubling down on the pro plan. And if they have the starter or the scale plan, they can't see this page. So we're going to come back here. So we have the scale, we have the pro. Come back here, branding, turn this off. Come into tool sets again, demo. And for this one, I'm going to put even less. Just going to put 5. Branding off. Copy. We're going to make a new page. This was called starter. I'm gonna add HTML. Gonna change the settings. Somebody has to be logged in. You have to have the starter. Doubling down on the starter. It can't have scale. And they can't have pro. Publish. Bam. So going back to our dashboard, all we literally did was create 3 pages for those 3 toolkits. And then we restricted access with WP Fusion. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the website real quick to look at the website. Actually, what I'm going to do is change the home page. So the home page just technically is the shop page for now. Right now, this menu is terrible. We're going to change this menu to not say this. So where we need to go for that is our appearance and menus. Just going to name this main menu. And all we need to do is click on primary for these menu settings in mobile. Create our menu. And then we can, right here next to pages, all the pages that we have inside of our website will pop up here. We can just add these pages. And they will be our menu. So real quick, I need our shop page because that is the home page. I'm going to save this. Now if I come back here and I refresh this, you see that this has changed. All right, so now I'm on the live website, looking at the shop page. I'm gonna go backwards. I can see the cart page. Don't mind it loading like this. This won't happen in real time. There's some edits still need to be made. Check out. My account page, which I'll get into a little bit. Later. And then we have the actual pages where these are at. Now, obviously, I can see these pages because I'm logged in and I'm an administrator, but we're looking at each one. This is the scale page. Once again, I can take this here, copy. Go in incognito mode. I can that's that page. I can go to Pro. I can see that, and it only has those certain amount of toolkits. You can go to incognito mode again.
You'll have to log in, right?
Nope. Yep. Can't see the page. I have to log in. Not only do I have to log in, I have to have that tag, which I'll showcase momentarily in 2 ways. We're just going to go to the last one, starter. You see this low with even less toolkits. Coming back here, going to change this URL, starter at the top. Can't see anything, right? So this is gated. We know that for sure. Even though we're still testing, nobody's bought anything. We're just looking at that. Now, WP Fusion gives you the cool ability to preview the menu and preview how your website looks if you had that tag attached to you, even though you're the admin. And I'll give a clearer example later. So in our menus here, we saved the menu, we saw a change. There's another setting that we can put that's really cool. So if I click on starter, we see WP Fusion menu setting links. Who can see this menu link? Only logged in users can see this menu link. You can even break it down and say, well, not only if they're logged in, they have to be logged in and they have to have the starter tag in order to see this menu.
Okay.
Do the same thing for each of these menus here. You can do it for any menu actually, but specifically we're talking about gating the toolkits even more. So even from a menu level, we know for sure if they go to the page, they won't see it. But now we're talking about even from the menu level, they're not going to be able to see it even though they're logged in. So this means, yes, multiple people will be logged in and they will be seeing different things. So we're going to save that. Going to come here. Now we have our menu. Once again, I'm admin, I can see everything, but I'm going to do a preview with the tag attached to me as if I made a purchase and that automation was set up. I don't know automations, we've done none of that yet, but I'm going to act like that did happen. So I'm just going to click on starter, for example. And now we see in the menu, this scale and the pro have disappeared.
Right.
Because it's acting like I'm logged in. I have that tag attached to my profile. So we can even see if I was logged in from a menu standpoint, they would only be able to see shop, starter, my account, checkout, and cart.
Cool.
To be honest, configured, they would even see these two because they would be logged in and there would be no need to. I'll get into that later, but I can remove this filter and now everything else pops up. Then I can do a preview with another tag as if I had the scale plan. Maybe I clicked on it too fast. I clicked on it too many times. Or Zoom is being slow and doesn't want to change it. Okay. It's being funny right now. I have no idea why, but you kind of get the concept of what I'm spinning up here.
Yeah, cool.
So going back to the checklist real quick. We've made our pages to manage toolkits. And we're not going to get into this last part. That's kind of extra. And we set a category name. Technically done everything that we really needed to do. The last thing that we only really need to do is act like we're doing a test of coming to purchase something. So once again, I'm going to come into incognito mode. Because I just know URLs, I'm just going to take that URL and I'm going to just type in shop. And I'm going to have that shop pop up if the internet gods allow me to, because for some reason this doesn't want to work. But you know what? That's okay because what I can do is come back here. I stop sharing my screen for now, but I can have you share your screen.
Okay.
And I can have
It's
demo and let it be spent up and
disabled.
do all those things. Let me put this in. Do I have to give you the co-host ability?
Yeah, it says that I'm not able to screen share.
There you go. You should be able to now.
Yeah. What's that doing here? Where'd it go? Hold on a sec.
And I saw your message right after this. I'll wrap up this part. This will be, I guess, considered the first good half.
Yeah, for sure. Share my screen. There we go. I had to do some permissions on my side too. Do you see my screen now?
No, not yet.
Okay. Share my entire screen. Share. Interesting.
Oh, zooming.
Zoom try
is a zooming.
Chrome, my window instead. Share this window.
Oh, I did get it. Yeah, Zoom was doing some retarded stuff. It was acting weird.
Huh.
Okay, you know,
On
I
my end,
might be able to share my.
that I'm sharing my screen, but maybe you're just not seeing it.
I don't. It should be just popping up, but for some reason it's not.
Let me go to this chat.
No, it's fine. It's like mine. It's loading again. This really. Hey, go ahead. Switch into go into that tab. I think now. I think my screen was doing something retarded.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. So click on any plan. It doesn't. Oh, click as far as the starter, the pro, and the scale. Add to cart. It's gonna say view checkout. You can click view cart, unfortunately, and then click checkout. And I think the payout is gonna be so ugly. I should have. You must be logged. I didn't edit that. To do that. Give me one moment.
Let me try maybe a different one. Is this one also?
Oh yeah, you know what? We'll reconvene. It's something's being retarded, and I don't even want to try to take the time to troubleshoot to see what's going on because that should let you view it in the checkout. It's being something retarded. But just to kind of show you how granular and stuff you can do that. Yeah, you can even review, like have products not be shown unless they're logged in and gate stuff and do stuff like that as well.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I'd be happy to, if you want to do like a part 2, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't even know how to stop recording this video. Zoom is where'd the stop recording button go? Like, why is this thing so slow? It's retarded sometimes. But Yeah, most likely we can definitely do that. And then, yeah, I have no idea how to stop this recording. That's really funny. It doesn't even have a thing that says, well, that's interesting. That's fine. But yeah, we can pick up from that. As far as